Just 3 nights of bad sleep can damage your heart. New study reveals shocking results. Intro. Welcome back to Medical News Pulse, where we break down the latest medical research that impacts your everyday health. Today we're discussing a groundbreaking study that might completely change how you think about those sleepless nights you've been having. How many times have you stayed up late binge-watching your favorite series, working on a deadline, or simply lying awake stressed about tomorrow's responsibilities? We've all been there, and most of us brush off a few nights of poor sleep as no big deal. After all, we can always catch up on sleep later, right? Well, new research from Uppsala University is revealing some truly alarming findings that suggest even just 3 consecutive nights of inadequate sleep can trigger measurable changes in your cardiovascular system. We're not talking about weeks or months of sleep deprivation, we're talking about a long weekend of poor sleep potentially affecting your heart health in ways that might surprise you. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends that adults obtain at least 7 hours of quality sleep each night, but surveys consistently show that more than 1/3 of American adults regularly fall short of this target. What this new research demonstrates is that the consequences of sleep deprivation may begin much sooner than we previously understood, with biological changes occurring in our bodies after just 72 hours of restricted sleep. The groundbreaking research designed this particular investigation, published in the journal Biomarker Research, employed what scientists call a crossover study design, which is considered one of the gold standards in medical research. This approach is particularly valuable because each participant serves as their own control group, eliminating many variables that could otherwise skew the results. The research team recruited 16 young men, all of whom maintained healthy body weights and had no existing cardiovascular conditions. The decision to focus on this specific demographic was intentional. By studying healthy individuals, researchers could isolate the effects of sleep restriction without the confounding factors that might come from underlying health conditions, medications, or other lifestyle variables. Each participant underwent 2 separate 3-night sessions in a controlled sleep laboratory environment. During one session, their sleep was deliberately restricted to approximately 4 hours and 15 minutes per night. This level of sleep deprivation, while severe, isn't uncommon in our modern society. Think about medical residents during their training, new parents caring for infants, or professionals working under intense deadlines. During the control session, these same individuals were allowed to sleep for their natural duration, which averaged about 8.5 hours per night. This comparison between restricted and normal sleep within the same individuals makes the findings particularly compelling and scientifically robust. Throughout both sessions, researchers collected blood samples at multiple time points, morning and evening, as well as before and after structured exercise sessions. These blood samples were then analyzed for 88 different proteins that are known to be associated with cardiovascular disease risk, inflammation, and various metabolic processes. The exercise component and its limitations. One particularly interesting aspect of this study was the inclusion of high-intensity exercise sessions lasting 30 minutes each. The researchers wanted to determine whether physical activity, often touted as a panacea for many health issues, could counteract the negative effects of sleep restriction. Exercise has well-documented cardiovascular benefits, including reducing inflammation, improving blood vessel function, and enhancing overall heart health. Many people assume that if they're getting regular exercise, they can somehow compensate for other unhealthy lifestyle choices, including inadequate sleep. However, the results revealed a more complex picture. While exercise did influence certain protein levels and provided some beneficial effects, it was not sufficient to completely offset the harmful changes triggered by sleep restriction. Even with regular high-intensity exercise, participants still showed elevated levels of 16 proteins associated with increased cardiovascular disease risk. This finding is particularly significant because it challenges the common assumption that exercise can serve as a universal antidote to poor lifestyle choices. While physical activity remains crucial for cardiovascular health, this research suggests that adequate sleep is irreplaceable and cannot be fully compensated for by other healthy behaviors. The inflammatory cascade: what happens in your body? To understand why sleep restriction has such rapid effects on cardiovascular health, we need to examine what's happening at the cellular and molecular level. Sleep isn't simply a period of inactivity, it's an active biological process during which your body performs critical maintenance and repair functions. When sleep is restricted, one of the first systems to be affected is your body's inflammatory response. Inflammation, while necessary for healing and fighting infections, becomes problematic when it becomes chronic or excessive. The researchers found that sleep restriction triggered increases in what they termed stress, interleukin, and chemokine-related proteins. Interleukins are signaling molecules that coordinate immune responses, while chemokines help guide immune cells to sites of inflammation. Under normal circumstances, these proteins play important protective roles. However, when they become chronically elevated, they contribute to the development of atherosclerosis, the buildup of plaque in arteries that can lead to heart attacks and strokes. The study identified specific proteins that increased after sleep restriction, including leptin, lipoprotein lipase, and galectin-9. Leptin, commonly known as the satiety hormone, helps regulate appetite and metabolism, but elevated levels can indicate metabolic dysfunction. Lipoprotein lipase plays a crucial role in fat metabolism, and alterations in its levels can affect cholesterol processing. Galectin-9 is involved in immune regulation and has been implicated in cardiovascular disease development. The speed of biological change. Perhaps the most striking aspect of these findings is how quickly these biological changes occurred. We're not discussing the effects of months or years of chronic sleep deprivation. These measurable changes in cardiovascular risk markers appear after just 3 nights of restricted sleep. This rapid onset suggests that our bodies are far more sensitive to sleep disruption than many people realize. It challenges the common practice of borrowing sleep from weeknights with the intention of paying it back on weekends. While occasional sleep restriction may not cause permanent damage, this research indicates that even short-term sleep debt comes with immediate biological costs. The implications extend beyond individual health choices to broader societal issues. Consider the millions of shift workers, healthcare professionals, emergency responders, and others whose jobs regularly require them to work during natural sleep hours. This research suggests that even brief periods of sleep restriction as part of work schedules could be contributing to increased cardiovascular risk. Understanding the broader health implications. While this study focused specifically on cardiovascular biomarkers, sleep restriction affects virtually every system in the human body. The cardiovascular changes documented in this research are likely just one manifestation of broader physiological disruption caused by inadequate sleep. Sleep plays crucial roles in immune system function, with sleep-deprived individuals showing increased susceptibility to infections and reduced vaccine effectiveness. The endocrine system, which regulates hormones controlling everything from stress response to blood sugar levels, is also highly sensitive to sleep disruption. Neurologically, sleep restriction affects cognitive function, memory consolidation, and emotional regulation. The brain uses sleep time to clear metabolic waste products, including proteins associated with neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. When this clearance process is disrupted by inadequate sleep, it may contribute to long-term neurological health risks. The interconnected nature of these systems means that the cardiovascular changes observed in this study likely represent just the tip of the iceberg in terms of sleep restriction's biological effects. Limitations and future research directions. While these findings are compelling, it's important to acknowledge the study's limitations. The research focused exclusively on young, healthy men with normal body weights. Whether these same rapid changes occur in women, older adults, or individuals with existing health conditions remains to be determined. Women's cardiovascular health can be influenced by hormonal fluctuations related to menstrual cycles, pregnancy, and menopause, which could potentially modify how sleep restriction affects inflammatory markers. Older adults may be more vulnerable to sleep restriction's effects due to age-related changes in sleep architecture and existing cardiovascular risk factors. Additionally, individuals with existing conditions such as diabetes, obesity, or hypertension might experience more severe or different responses to sleep restriction. Future research will need to address these demographic gaps to provide a more complete picture of sleep restriction's cardiovascular effects across diverse populations. The study also examined only acute sleep restriction over 3 nights. While this provides valuable insights into short-term effects, questions remain about how these changes evolve with longer periods of sleep restriction and whether the body develops any adaptive mechanisms over time. Practical implications for sleep hygiene. Given these research findings, optimizing sleep quality becomes even more critical for cardiovascular health. Sleep hygiene, the practices and environmental factors that promote consistent, quality sleep, deserves the same attention we give to diet and exercise in maintaining health. Creating an optimal sleep environment involves multiple factors. Room temperature should be kept cool, typically between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, as the body's natural temperature drop facilitates sleep onset. Darkness is crucial, as even small amounts of light can disrupt the production of melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep-wake cycles. Establishing a consistent bedtime routine helps signal to your body that it's time to wind down. This routine should begin at least an hour before your intended sleep time and might include activities such as reading, gentle stretching, meditation, or taking a warm bath. The key is consistency. Performing the same sequence of activities each night trains your body to recognize sleep preparation cues. Electronic devices present particular challenges for sleep quality. The blue light emitted by smartphones, tablets, and computers can suppress melatonin production, making it harder to fall asleep. Beyond the light exposure, the mental stimulation from social media, news, or work-related content can keep the mind active when it should be winding down. Dietary and lifestyle factors affecting sleep. What you consume throughout the day, particularly in the hours leading up to bedtime, significantly impacts sleep quality. Caffeine, found in coffee, tea, chocolate, and some medications, can remain in your system for 6 to 8 hours after consumption. This means that afternoon coffee could still be affecting your ability to fall asleep at bedtime. Alcohol presents a more complex relationship with sleep. While it may initially make you feel drowsy and help you fall asleep faster, alcohol disrupts sleep architecture, reducing the amount of restorative deep sleep and REM sleep you obtain. This results in less refreshing sleep and more frequent awakenings during the night. Large meals close to bedtime can also interfere with sleep quality. The digestive process can keep your body active when it should be slowing down, and lying flat after eating can contribute to acid reflux, which can wake you during the night. Finishing your last substantial meal at least 3 hours before bedtime is generally recommended. The role of stress management in sleep quality. Psychological stress is one of the most common contributors to sleep problems, creating a vicious cycle where stress disrupts sleep, and poor sleep increases stress levels. The cardiovascular changes documented in the Uppsala University study could be partially mediated by this stress-sleep interaction. Effective stress management techniques can significantly improve sleep quality. Mindfulness meditation has been shown in numerous studies to reduce both stress levels and improve sleep quality. Even just 10 to 15 minutes of daily meditation practice can yield measurable benefits. Progressive muscle relaxation, where you systematically tense and then relax different muscle groups, can help release physical tension that might interfere with sleep. Deep breathing exercises activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes relaxation and prepares the body for sleep. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia has emerged as one of the most effective treatments for chronic sleep problems, often more effective than sleep medications in the long term. This approach helps identify and change thought patterns and behaviors that contribute to sleep difficulties. When to seek professional help. While occasional sleep difficulties are normal, persistent sleep problems warrant professional evaluation. Sleep disorders such as sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or chronic insomnia require specific treatments that go beyond basic sleep hygiene measures. Sleep apnea, characterized by repeated interruptions in breathing during sleep, affects millions of Americans and significantly increases cardiovascular disease risk. The condition often goes undiagnosed because its primary symptoms occur during sleep. However, daytime fatigue, morning headaches, and loud snoring can be warning signs. If you consistently struggle to fall asleep, stay asleep, or feel rested despite spending adequate time in bed, consulting a sleep medicine specialist may be beneficial. Sleep studies can identify underlying disorders that might be preventing restorative sleep, even when you think you're getting enough sleep time. Conclusion and call to action. The findings from this Uppsala University study represent a significant advancement in our understanding of how quickly sleep restriction can affect cardiovascular health. The fact that measurable changes in heart disease risk markers can occur after just 3 nights of poor sleep should serve as a wake-up call for anyone who routinely sacrifices sleep for work, entertainment, or other activities. These results emphasize that sleep isn't a luxury or something we can postpone indefinitely without consequences. It's a fundamental biological requirement that affects every aspect of our health, with cardiovascular implications appearing far more rapidly than previously understood. The research also highlights the limitations of trying to compensate for poor sleep with other healthy behaviors. While exercise remains crucial for cardiovascular health, it cannot fully offset the harmful effects of sleep restriction. This underscores the importance of a comprehensive approach to health that prioritizes adequate sleep alongside proper nutrition and regular physical activity. As we continue to learn more about the intricate relationships between sleep and health, one thing becomes increasingly clear: those 7 to 9 hours of recommended sleep each night aren't just guidelines, they're essential investments in your long-term health and well-being. If this research has inspired you to take your sleep more seriously, start tonight. Create that consistent bedtime routine, optimize your sleep environment, and prioritize those crucial hours of rest. Your heart will thank you for it. Thanks for watching Medical News Pulse. Hit the like button if you found this informative. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest medical research updates, and we'll see you next time with more health insights that matter to you.